Here's Todd Helton. 398. It's going to dip down here. Flies out to Andrew Jones. Camps under. He's got it. Jones hit his 28th homer in this game. Helton not happy with that one. Top 7, 6'5" rocks. Brian Jordan rips one right back at Jose Jimenez and catches it. And Jimenez thinks there's 2 out. Scoreboard says 2 out, and he caught it, so he thinks now he's got 3. Well, guess what? Scoreboard's wrong. There's 2 outs. By the time he catches on and throws over to first, Andres Galarraga is back, and the inning is going to continue. Heck, by any accounting, that'll get you in trouble. Javi Lopez making him pay. Todd Walker's there, but it's an infield single. B.J. Suroff scores 6-all. Bottom 6, Helton facing Terry Mulholland. And Helton grounds into a 4-6-3 double play. Struggling. Bottom 9, 2 outs. They intentionally walk Helton. Smart to get to Jeffrey Hammonds and gets Kerry Lightenberg. The base is loaded. There's Brian Jordan. Grabs. Go to extra frames. Top 11, 6-6, 2 outs. John Wasden. Definitely not a cat person. He plunks Galarraga. Galarraga would have a few words for Wasden. Not sure they're really that kind words, because he runs out there and wants a piece of them. They start swinging. Benches are going to come out and clear. Let's take a look at Wasden's view. He says, why don't you just go down there to first? You know where it is. And that ticks off the cat. Galarraga, Wasden both ejected in this one. Pedro Estacio, he's in a bullpen, ready to go in the 12th, but no, they bring in their catcher. That's right, Brent Maine, who's throwing to the pinch hitter, who's a pitcher, Tom Glavine.
Huh?
I swear it's true. Maine takes out his man Glavine. Still in the 12th, Maine gets Chipper Jones, 5-3 for the putout. Jones hit a home run, but not against Maine. Nice job by the MVP, huh? Maine getting some love in the dugout. Bottom 12, Helton facing John Rocker, shoots one through the right side. Nefi Perez hustles there over to third. Helton finishes up 1 for 4. Then Hammonds, 2 on. It's caught there with nobody out. Andrew Jones going to hold the runner at third. Still in the 12th, intentional walk, and then Adam Melhus. That's right, that Adam Melhus, the guy you want to be a hero against Stan Belinda. And he comes through with the clutch base hit to win it with 2 outs. Perez will score, and the Rockies will win it by a count of 7-6. Get this, Brent Maine, the 10th Colorado pitcher, pitched 1 scoreless inning to become the first position player since the Yankees' Rocky Colavito in 1968 to pitch.
Damian Jackson, the 141st Grand Slam in the majors this year, tying the major league record set back in '96. Mahomes let up 10 runs in 4 innings. So Derek Bell, the right fielder, comes in to pitch. That's right. He pitched once in the 1981 Little League World Series to Derek Bell, and the way he was throwing, it looked like it. Mike Hampton, Bobby Jones were amused at this. Corey DeHaan with the bases full clears the bases. Derek Bell simply taking one for the team, trying to rest the arms of the bullpen.
He is no Brent Maine.
That's what I said. The Mets lose 2 straight for the first time in just over a month. As for Derek Bell's pitching line, 1 inning, 5 runs allowed on 3 hits and 4 walks. His first pitch clocked at 47 miles per hour, and that was a fastball.
Muscle in his place in center, Clay Bellinger. Rafael Palmeiro against Denny Nagel. And there's Clay Bellinger, and Clay Bellinger misplays that. His first big league error while playing in the outfield. Luis Eliseo, Rusty Greer will both score, and it's 2-0 Rangers. They get 4 in the first. First time Nagel's allowed to run in the first inning since June 21st, back when he was a Red. 4-1 Rangers. Rick Helling, that's fat, as in not good, to Paul O'Neill. 2-run shot. His 15th, 4-3 Rangers. Helling to Luis Sojo. Luis Sojo. Over Wrigley today, Tino Martinez going to score, and the game is tied at 4. Bases chucked. Tim Crabtree was down 3-1, but gets Derek Jeter to strike out, so we're still tied at 4. In the 8th, Nagel facing Palmeiro. Oh, yeah. Kids, you do one thing, you do it well, and then you move on. Rafi hits. 32nd homer. Rangers win it by a count of 5-4. Palmeiro 3 for 4, 2 ribs, 393rd career jack. Start since returning from a brain hemorrhage 3 months ago. Mike Sosa watching here, though, as Garrett Anderson delivers by Jose Offerman. And a tie game, 4-4, now 5-4. Favor Anaheim when Mo Vaughn comes home to score. Next batter is Troy Gloss. Tim Wakefield's knuckleball, that's less than perfect knuckling there. Ripped down the left field line into the corner where it's going to rattle around. Tim Salmon will score. Anderson's going to score. Glausen with a double. He was 3 for 4, 2 ribs, 3 runs, 7 for Angels. That's it for Wakefield. Bottom 6, Angels leading it now 10-4, and Kent Merker. He missed 80 games facing Jose Offerman and Jose Antonio Offerman. You get in this house right now. 6-4-3 double play. Merker, fine line, 6-inning pitch, 9 hits, 4 earned run, 2 Ks. Bottom 8, Scott Hatterberg lines one to Orlando Palmeiro, giving effort. Effort is the key to success, and the Angels come up with a win by a count of 11-4. Merker gets his first win since September 29th of last season when he keep in touch here. Dan Rieker, Tony Batista, and how about Jeff Rebele from out of nowhere? That is well worth another look. Rebele. Folks, that's a play by a big leaguer. Over to Ray Sanchez for the force. Bottom 8, 5-3 Royals. Jose Santiago in relief, and Brad Fulmer makes him pay. That would be a 3-run shot to stake the Jays to a 6-5 lead, 26th of the year for Fulmer. Next guy, Tony Batista. I am the king, and you are a nobody. Back-to-back, Batista's 36, and the Blue Jays win it by a count of 7-5. Kelvin Escobar, he comes out of the pen to get 2 outs in the 8th for the win.
Getting some pointers from Sean Green on how to play the outfield. He was filling in for Gary Sheffield. Running stab by Leyritz, and then Leyritz diving catch, and then Jimmy against the wall. He also had his first home run as a Dodger. Easy stuff. Bottom 5 Dodgers up to Ishmael Valdez, a career 123 hitter. That's the pitcher's first career home run, putting the Dodgers up 5-2. They had 6 homers in this game to the Dodgers. Then in the 6th, Eric Karros capping off a 9-run inning with this 3-run. That would be 3-run.
I'm with you.
That would be Lindy having her New York accent getting in the way of history. Eric Karros, 2 home runs in this game.
Paulo Guzman facing Richie Sexson. 2-out base hits are the best kind, especially when the 3-run homers. Sexton's 7th as a Brewer. They're up 3-0. Bottom 3rd, still 3-0 favor Milwaukee. Tony Womack on first, Jay Bell and J-Bo. He can hit Jeff D'Amico. Doesn't seem possible, but he does. Womack, he's quick. Brown in 3rd, headed from home. He's a brown-eyed handsome man. He's going to score. D-backs within 2. It's 3-1. Top of the 4th, Tyler Houston, flat wearing out D-backs. 2 homers on Monday and another on Tuesday. That adds up to 3 in the series. 2 in that 16-run outburst. Guzman confounded. Tyler's team down 4-1. Now in the 5th, Ron Belliard backing up. Simply the finest pitcher in the game, Jeff D'Amico. Good range, and Womack is quick, but not quick enough. He is out at first. No luck for Womack. Home team gets 2 in the 9th, and then they got 2 on and 2 out. Curtis Laskanik in against Craig Counsell, and Counsell rips one. There's Sexton at first. Over to Laskanik covering. 4-3. Brewers hold on to win it. Jeff D'Amico, 8 2/3, allowed more than 2 earned runs for the first time in 10 starts.
Sean Estes, usually smooth, but not in this case. Lowell over the head of Barry Bonds. 2 runs would score. Estes would allow 3 earned runs in the first. This guy had allowed only 7 first-inning runs in his last 22 starts. A.J. Burnett getting Barry Bonds to bounce into the 1-6-3 double play. Marvin Bernard would score. Giants within 2. Top 2nd, same score. Dave Berger the play for the Marlins opposite way. Jeff Kent knows you have to wreck your body to save your name. Still 3-1. Top 3 now 4-2. 2 on, 1 out for Mark Smith. Smith likes the pitch. Preston Wilson coming home, putting the Marlins up 5-2. Check out the replay just in case you stepped away to pet your dog. Estes not thrilled. Why? He almost got hit. He allowed 7 runs on 9 hits and 3 2/3. Top of the 4th, Marlins up by 3, looking for more 1-on for Kevin Millar. Is there any doubt? He's 13th home run of the year, and that put it away for the Marlins. Lowell chipping in with his 3 RBIs. Estes, boy, he came into this game with a Major League best 1.80. Against Oakland in 3 years, facing Adam Pyatt, walks him to load the bases. Things not looking good at the moment. Next batter, facing Chuck Finley, Ben Grieve gets him looking to escape the bases loaded jam. Bottom 2, Manny Ramirez, who sparked this Cleveland team, facing Gil Heredia. Indians down 2-0. Not anymore. Ramirez not scared of heights. His 26th home run of the year. That cut the A's lead in half, 2-1. Still in the bottom of the 2nd, 2 out, Heredia. His worst outing in the year 2000. Trying to pick Omar Vizquel, allows Will Cordero to score from 2nd on that. Vizquel goes to 3rd. Indians lead now 5-2. Pause for effect and drama. Bottom three, Sandy Alomar at the plate with 2 on. Alomar Jr., his only hit of the game. He had 3 RBIs in the game. That scored Fryman and Cordero. Alomar would be tagged out trying to go to second. Indians win in a rout, 14-6. Indians trying to make it to the postseason for starting the season 1-1. Bobby Higginson, so money and he doesn't even know it. Off of Freddie Garcia. Higgs' 24th dong on the year. Tigers go up 3-2. Same score, top of the 4th, 2 outs for the Seattle Mariners. Joe Oliver. It's a blooper. Now, Higginson, well, okay. Afraid to get hit by it or something. Oliver goes into second safe, and the throw is going to get away, and Oliver would later score to tie this game at 3. So costly error. Take another look just in case you stepped away to pet your dog. Top 8 tied at 3. Danny Patterson pitching 2 on. Mike Cameron. One of the biggest hits the Mariners had in about 2 weeks. A-Rod would score on that. Edgar Martinez would score on the ground rule double. There goes the tie, and there's a Mariners lead 5-3. Alex Rodriguez has to be heard from. His 31st home run of the year. That made it an 8-3 Seattle game. And then in the bottom of the 9th, now 8-4. Juan Gonzalez up with the bags full. And Kazuhiro Sasaki gets him. 0 for 4 was Gonzo. We have 2 out. One last try for the Tigers. Dean Palmer. It's deep. Ricky Henderson gives it a chase. And the old man still has some skills. Well, he's not really that old. Mariners end their 8-game skid. Detroit loses for just the 2nd time in 9 games. Chen in trouble early. Mike Lieberthal comes out to discuss. Next batter, Alex Ochoa, hitless in his last 14 at-bats. Bases full, 2 outs. Ochoa, first career grand slam. It was also the 142nd grand slam this season, breaking the major league record. Reds go up by 4. Bottom 2, Juan Castro facing Chen. The grounder, Scott Rowland. Wow. The grab, the throw from his knees. Rowland also homered in this game. Top 9, still tied, Kevin Jordan. Jordan pops one out there and out there. Dante Bichette. Uh-oh, this could be not good. Thought he had it. Said he ran as fast as he could. It's an error. Kevin Sefcik scores. Phillies go up 5-4. Bottom 9, Ken Griffey Jr. on first, who was 2 for 4 in this game, even though he was feeling ill. Phillies lead 5-4, 1 out. Bichette at the plate. Loops it. Foul. Travis Lee under it. Tosses it to Marlon Anderson. And what was Jr. thinking? It's a double play. They catch Griffey off the bag. Maybe he was thinking how under the weather he was for this game. Phillies turned 4 double plays. Dante Bichette hit into 3 of them. Said Alex Ochoa about his first ever grand slam, setting that record. That makes it even more special, but losing takes the fun out of it.
Astros, Kerry Wood off the DL. First start since July 29th, and Jeff Bagwell catches up with that one. Bags 39th, he was 3 for 3, 8 total bases, had a couple of doubles. That one ties her up at 2. Bottom 3rd tied at 3, bases loaded. And Wood missed the catcher. That's bad. Astros go up 4-3 when Bagwell scoots home. Wood not happy with the performance. 4 innings pitched, 4 earned runs. Top 4, same score. Rondell White hits his first 2 homers as a Cub in 15 games to tie the game at 4. That's some drama. Bottom 7th, Cubs up 7-6, 2 on, 1 out. Kyle Farnsworth facing Moises Alou. And now there's nobody on, including Alou. 3-run homer, 24th of the year. Astros up 9-7, win at 10-7. Wood did have 8 Ks. He now has.
Brian Giles, speaking of hot, 8 RBIs in his last 3 games. His 3rd homer in as many games. Number 31 overall for Giles. Bottom 6 tied at 2. Mike Matheny up with the bases empty. Matheny up the middle. Diving stop by Enrique Wilson. Throw to first for the smooth out. Top of the 7th, we still have a tie game. Darryl Kyle still in there pitching to your pinch hitter, Alex Ramirez. Out of the island and into the highway goes Ramirez. Jim Edmonds thinks he has a chance, and, you know, you should never doubt Jim Edmonds. But it went off his glove and over the wall. Pirates up 3-2. 2 on for Kevin Young, meanwhile, still top of the 7th. Young likes the pitch. Ends up with a double. Adrian Brown would score. Jason Kendall coming home as well. Let's have some action at the plate. The relay by Fernando Vina. What an arm by Vina out at the plate. But the Pirates already had enough runs. They win. What about Brian Giles hitting .486 during his current 10-game hitting streak with 12 of his 17 hits, going for 2 for the year?